And welcome to Riverton High School, the site of another edition of High School Rewind, available only on Xfinity On Demand. We are bringing you semifinal action from the Riverton Holiday Tournament as the Riverton Silverwolves, a host school of this tournament, prepare to face the Morgan Trojans. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Dane Stewart here to bring you the action. And this is, a couple of teams that didn't think would be making appearances here in the semifinal. We'll start with the Morgan Trojans. This is a team that won the 3A state championship last year. This season certainly did not get up to that kind of start as they lost their first 4 games out of the gate and missing a couple key players for the Trojans as Murdoch and Stredbeck were both out of those 4 games. Since then, though, the Trojans have gone 4-1, including winning 4 straight and 2 straight in this tournament. Victories over Timpanogos and Hunter. Now, that's nice for a 3A school to come and beat those types of teams in this tournament. They've done it behind very good execution, and I'll tell you, in the quarterfinal game against Hunter, it was Garen Miles who just went off a career-high 31 points for Miles. He had a fantastic game. Also got some help from Stredbeck, who chipped in with 10 and 6. 6 boards for Stredbeck, 10 points. And he had a really nice game as well. Miles has led the way in scoring so far this season for the Trojans, averaging nearly 15 points per game. We mentioned Stredbeck. He is third on the team in scoring with 12. Ben Saunders also averaging 12 points per game for the Morgan Trojans. But this is a team that is very disciplined, and they're built on execution. They execute very well, and that execution was pivotal in that victory over the Hunter Wolverines in the quarterfinals. We'll switch now and talk a little bit about the Riverton Silverwolves. Of course, the host team coming in to this semifinal. They are 6-3 on this season, and they have victories against Cypress and Spanish Fork. In fact, against Spanish Fork, you could not ask for a worse start if you were a Silverwolf fan. They were down by 11 after the first quarter in that one, but Brandon Sly got things going for the Riverton offense. He led the way, scoring 16 points and having 6 assists as they would cruise to a 64-45 victory over the Dons. He had some support as well as Loamanu as well as Aarons chipped in with double figures each. Loamanu actually hit 3 triples or 3 threes in that ball game, provided a nice outside touch for the Silverwolves. We mentioned Aarons, he's second on the team in scoring with 11, and then also Jason Jones also averaging double figures for the Silverwolves, and this one is the winner of this game advances to the championship match tomorrow night. Well, they will face the Timpview Thunderbirds. Mentioned Riverton faced a double-digit deficit in the first half. So did the Morgan Trojans as they were down by 10 to Hunter in the first half. Both these two teams overcame double-digit deficits to come back and win in the quarterfinals. They're looking to avoid that type of deficit here tonight. But again, the winner moves on to the championship. And with that preview now, we'll send you down to the floor for the opening tip. Ready to tip things off is Riverton in their home white, Morgan in the road maroon, and it will be Ben Saunders squaring off against Jaron Jones. My apologies. I think I called him Jason. It's officially an R. Jaron Jones, my apologies to him as he's able to control the tip and gives it to Brandon Sly. Sly, I tell you, he loves that 15, 16-foot pull-up jumper. Watch for that tonight. Very athletic, able to create a lot of room on the drives. This is Jake McCleary with it. Picked up his dribble outside to Sly. He's going to shoot the 3. And Brandon Sly starts things off on a positive note for the home squad with a 3-pointer. A little bit of pressure put on by the Silverwolves as Morgan able to get it up the floor. Now in the corner, Tanner Anderson. He's going to try to answer. That one no good. Batted around, trying to track it down is, that was actually the wrong number as it was Hunter Stanford who attempted the shot. Have 12s on for both teams, and that's a rookie error. Is called from the wrong roster. Now, this is Matt Murdoch with the drive. Kicks over to Saunders with it. Being guarded by Jones. Baseline cut underneath the Stanford, but it was defended nicely by the Silverwolves. Back up top with Garen Miles, and he's the man who had a fantastic quarterfinal game. How about that ball thrown right over Sly, getting the friendly roll, and Bridger Stredbeck able to net the first 2 points for the Trojans. Boy, it Sly turned around. Easily could have intercepted that pass, but nice job by Morgan, able to get it inside. Now this is Jeff Aarons. Baseline drive, kicks back up. Cleary with it. A bit of zone defense here from the Trojans. Open three-pointer for Jeff Ahrens. He missed that one, but that's not a shot you want him taking if you're the Trojans. Good distance shooters. We've got a foul underneath on Morgan. Slide inbound, does so. Corner three from Ahrens. That one no good, and the rebound is to Stredbeck. Miles throwing this ball up quickly to Saunders. He's going to go to lay it in and left that one a little short as it rolled off the front of the rim. Sly now the other way for Riverton. Is defended by Murdoch as a three-pointer is good. Shot by Jaron Jones, the 6'5" junior with the triple. Now a pull-up jumper from just inside the arc from Ben Saunders. And it's 6-4 advantage for Riverton. Just a minute and a half into this one. He's trying to break that press of the Trojans, able to do so as Slide tried to pass back up top. Chasing that down was Murdoch. Pull up from the free throw line was long and rebounded by Ben Saunders for the Trojans. Murdoch with it, looking to drive, going up against Jones. That shot blocked, and then that is out off of Murdoch, and thought that Sly may have touched that last. Official said no, off of Morgan. As now they will wait for McCleary to pick it up. Well, now Jones back with it. And a reach call, a cheapo here on Garen Miles. That'll be his first. And excuse me, that was actually Miles' second foul. That is a huge, huge foul on the Trojans' leading scorer. And now this is Jeff Ahrens who dribbles it back up top over to Sly. Working inside is Jones. Help defense closing down back up top now to McCleary. As Jones picks up his dribble, passes back to McCleary, now far side with Ahrens. As guarding him will be Stredbeck. Failed to mention Hayden Garfield checked in for Garen Miles once he picked up his second foul. Riverton being very patient here offensively. We said that Morgan was really good at execution. They execute the steal that time. It's Matt Murdoch now coming down the other way. Finds a streaking teammate in Stanford who tries to lay it in, draws the contact and the foul. And Hunter Stanford to the line to shoot two. Stanford able to make both free throws, and it is knotted up at 6 apiece as we approach the midpoint here in this first quarter. Sly with it, pulls up from just beyond the free throw stripe. That one no good. Sly able to get his own rebound. Now Jones over to Ahrens. Ahrens going to look to put this on the floor, driving to the hoop, using the glass, and Jeff Ahrens lays that in to give Riverton the lead back up to 2. This long pass up ahead to Garfield, who's able to pull up the jumper. And Hayden Garfield filling in for Miles. Nicely there, tied up at 8. Here's Laumanu with it. He checked in on those last free throws for Riverton. Now Sly dribbles out of the corner. Back up top as Ahrens dribbles to center court. Again, zone defense by Morgan here. As Sly dribbles out of that corner. Ahrens now looking to the other side. Gets it to McCleary. Thought about the three, instead passed out of it. Sly being guarded by Garfield. Nearing the 3-minute mark, and that ball is stolen, and Matt Murdoch has come up with a couple steals. It's going the other way, and that lay-in left short by Jordan Nelson, then batted out off of Riverton. It will stay here with Morgan. Morgan to inbound, they do so to Stredbeck, who tries the pull-up jumper. That ball no good, rebounded by Laumanu. Sly kicks out. Laumanu for 3. That one no good. Mentioned he hit 3 of those in the quarterfinal yesterday, and trying to get in the similar feel here tonight, though that one was not good. Now here's Garfield looking inside. That ball right off a Silverwolf and out of bounds. Boy, if Connor Henderson wasn't awake, he is now, as that one absolutely hit him and went out of play. Morgan retains possession as Garfield with it, looking to drive through that one up, trying to draw contact, no whistle. And it's up ahead now with Joey Andrews. He pulls up from about 6 feet. That one gets a friendly roll and in. And 10-8 the score. Riverton able to take advantage of fast break opportunity. Kicked out, corner three on the way. That was actually foot on the line, no good, and a foul underneath on Riverton on the rebound as this foul's called on Sly. Garen Miles checks back in. That's him with the ball now underneath as he draws contact on the shot, and Garen Miles will head to the line. First foul on Joey Andrews. Meanwhile, Miles at the line made his first free throw. Second attempt. Rims out for the senior. 10-9. Riverton still up in front. 2 minutes remaining here in the first as Sly looks to drive. Kicks out. Three-pointer from Connor Henderson. That one's good. The 6-foot senior dials up the triple. Morgan down the other way. That ball just overthrown, was looking the way of Hayden Murdoch. Hayden Morgan with some full court pressure here. Able to get through it as Connor Henderson near side. Picked up his dribble, looking in the key. That ball was knocked down by Saunders and turned over to the Trojans as Miles brings it up the floor. He's going to pull up the three. Got to get out on Garen Miles, and he shows you why right there as he hits the straightaway triple and draws Morgan back to within one as they, again, set up this pressure. And that ball thrown right to Miles. Picked it off, was trying to pass it over to Garfield and gave it right back to the Silverwolves as bringing it the other way is Connor Henderson now. Andrews drives to the baseline. That's where he gets shut down. This ball on the floor and scooped up by Saunders as he is fouled by Connor Henderson. Jones checks back in for Riverton as Miles tries to loft this one into Saunders. Nice job able to keep that in. Looked like it may have been a little long, but nice save as the pull-up jumper from Hayden Murdoch is good. And Morgan now with a 14-13 lead, and they've done this by really creating extra possessions, gaining turnovers. What a pass from Sly. Can't be controlled. He's able to pass out of it was Tanner Anderson. Three-pointer on the way, left short by Jaron Jones, and the rebound is to Ben Saunders. Going the other way, trying to track this down. Nice save made in the corner by Garfield, and he is fouled by Sly, and that will be the second foul on Brandon Sly. 13 seconds left in this opening quarter, and Morgan will have seemingly the last possession. Is this up top with Miles? Little pump fake, looking to drive. Goes glass, that one no good. Rebound is to Jones. 3 seconds left, trying to throw this one up to Aarons, but he can't get there, and the quarter's come to a close. The Morgan Trojans, fantastic defense, extra possessions, has given them a 14-13 lead at the end of the first. Second quarter begins with a Trojan offensive possession. As Murdoch, good ball movement here. Boy, backdoor cut made by Miles, but it was broken up by Jones as Saunders was trying to get it to him. Aaron's in the corner now, going to dribble out of it, passes underneath. Jones able to scoop that one up on the floor and lays it in to give Riverton back the lead, and now the Silverwolves extend a little pressure of their own. How do you like me now style. Cross-court pass over to Garen Miles. Closed out on him, now he's going to look to drive. Going glass, and the senior lays it in. And if he can get going, that's a really good thing for Trojan fans. I mentioned he had 31, a career high in that quarterfinal. He was unbelievable. It's the drive by Aarons and a travel that time as he picked up the dribble and took the extra step. Matt Murdoch brings the ball up the floor. This an experienced team, a lot of seniors on this Trojan roster. Murdoch had that blocked and then out off of the Silverwolves as it stays with the Trojans. Had a 5-second call on the rebound, so Riverton got the ball out as now they look to get the ball up past this Morgan pressure. They do so. Aarons thought about the three, instead passed over to Rigby. Stetson Rigby with it. Cross-court pass to Jones in the corner. Aarons looking to drive now. Has a man open. That is Anderson with the shot. No good. Rebounded by Jones. Goes back up with it. That one gets a nice roll. And Jaron Jones, the 6'5 junior, having some success down low now for the Silverwolves. This ball thrown up to a running Murdoch, and now he is trapped, able to pass out of it. And to Miles in the corner with Saunders. And a blocking call that time going to be called on Jones. Jordan Nelson checks in for the Trojans. Meanwhile, that was the 6th team foul on the Silverwolves. So next one up, and the Trojans are shooting free throws. There's a corner three on the way. That one is good for Hunter Stanford. I believe that might be his 2nd of the game. I may be giving him one too many, but that's a nice shot right there from the corner. Morgan now with a 2-point lead. The little fall away 4-footer is no good as Miles tips this to himself. Now he's trying to push this up. Numbers for the Trojans, kicked out to Stanford. He couldn't handle that one as the pass was a little off the mark. (19-17), still the Trojans out in front. As Loamanu, nice pass on the cut to the hoop by Stetson Rigby. That's a really nice job of breaking that pressure. As Boy all alone underneath, hit the brakes and go right by, but Loamanu able to get the block, and that's out off of Morgan as Bobby Clough was looking to draw contact. Loamanu with the block. Jones with it. Got to get it across, and that he does to Rigby. Now a three-pointer from Aarons. That one's no good, and the distance shot has not been friendly for Riverton here early on. He's going the other way. Going to lay it in. Count the bucket by Bridger Stredbeck. He heads to the line for a free throw. McCleary and Andrews both check back in for Riverton as Stredbeck at the line for the old-fashioned three-point play. No good, as that one was long. Rebounded by Jake McCleary. Rigby brings it up the other way. Now Andrews on the drive, gets past the Morgan defenders and lays it in. And we're knotted up at 21. Ball thrown up ahead to Nelson, now back up top. Two-man game as Nelson looking to go inside, instead dribbles out. Boy, nice job, good ball movement that time. Stanford to the hoop, count the bucket and the foul. Hunter Stanford to the line as he was, no, actually, that overruled by the side official. He's going to call a travel on Stanford. Wow, a call that Morgan fans don't like is the underneath official had the and one, and the side official called Stanford for steps. So points come off, still tied at 21 apiece. Up top with Rigby, now in the corner. Aarons back to Rigby. Laumanu. Pass underneath to Aarons. That's a really nice find on the baseline as Jeff Aarons was just roaming along, got behind that back line zone D of the Trojans and laid it in. Stanford in the corner to Saunders now. He's going to try to loft this one up and does so. Again, good ball movement. Count that bucket and the foul on Laumanu. That time he does pick it up as it is Jordan Nelson with the points, and he heads to the line to shoot one. And Nelson gets the free throw, 24-23. And tell you what, if you like basketball, this Morgan team, fun to watch, is mention their execution. The ball always has a purpose, and pretty phenomenal from these Trojans. Easy to see why they're such a tough out as Aaron's three-pointer is no good. Rebounded by Ben Saunders. Look at Morgan pushing the ball. That ball broken up by a leaping Rigby as they were trying to get it to Stanford on the lay-in. Now Rigby on the other end passes out to Laumanu, takes the dribble inside. That bucket is good for Tavita Laumanu. 25-24 now, the Riverton advantage. And you see the laser passing as that one was off the mark, trying to hook up with Stanford. Meanwhile, Garen Miles is checked back in as Stanford heads to the bench and gets a well-deserved rest. Far side now with McCleary, able to bring it up. Good ball movement here, going in the corner to Aarons. Now cross-court pass, that ball broken up. Kick this back out, that is a two-pointer. No good, tipped back, and a foul going to be called here on an over the back by Nelson as he tried to tip that back to reinforcements. Aarons with it near side. Passes back to Joey Andrews. Loft that one up ahead. McCleary able to run under it and catch it. with Laumanu now, who dribbles it out of the corner. 2:30 remaining here in this first half, and it has been neck and neck. Been a good one here in the second semifinal of the Riverton Holiday Tournament. As now this is McCleary in the key, kicked out to Ahrens. He shot a couple of those, but hasn't had much luck as he dribbles out of that shot. Now Andrews pulls that one up on the little dribble drive. No good as it hit the back of the iron. And Garen Miles now brings it the other way for Morgan. Picked up by McCleary. Now Stredbeck. Three-pointer on the way from Saunders. That one just rimmed off for the senior Ben Saunders. As Riverton pushing it back the other way. Back outside to Andrews. Now Laumanu. And that bucket is good. And Tavita Laumanu, mentioned, had a really nice quarterfinal game with 12 points, and he's having another good one here today as the Trojans will call a timeout. Matt Murdoch will bring the ball up the floor for the Trojans. Screen is being set by Stredbeck. Boy, he's being hounded by Rigby, able to get it away to Miles. Passed over to Saunders. Boy, that's a nice cut away from the ball. And how about Matt Murdoch? Gave a little shimmy and shake and had a lane to the hoop to lay it in. As Morgan draws back to within one, 27-26 now. Advantage to the boys in white. As this ball kicked up top, Aaron's going to try the three-pointer. And Jeff Ahrens cashes in the three, his first triple of the night. 30-26 as we now have 1 minute remaining here in this first half. Miles trying to dribble through the defense. He gets fouled. And Garen Miles will head to the line to shoot 1-1. Front end of the 1-1 for Garen Miles. No good. Rebounded by Jaron Jones. Should mention Riverton has done a lot of this without Sly, who's been on the bench with 2 fouls. Corner three, no good. As Stredbeck able to track that ball down. Miles. Good ball movement here. Miles up top, being guarded by Rigby. Now Garfield looking for a place to go. Again, that's a cut underneath. Trying to get back to it as Murdoch, though he can't track it down. That one, a very similar play to before, as he made a nice cut away from the ball, but couldn't bring it in. 20 seconds remaining here in this first half as Riverton holding this ball away from the three-point line, most likely looking to take the last shot as we're down to 15. The Silverwolves with a 30-26 lead. As now Stetson Rigby has it. 7 seconds left for Rigby. Underneath, all alone to lay it in is Tanner Anderson. Full court shot, no good. Horn should have sounded, though it didn't. There it is. And the half comes to a close. The Riverton Silverwolves out in front, 32-26 at the break. Brandon Sly back in for the Silverwolves. He has it now. Mentioned most of that second quarter for Riverton was done without him, and they held a 19-12 scoring advantage as Ahrens with the corner three. And right now, Jeff Ahrens is starting to dial in from long distance, his second three-pointer of the game. Mentioned it was a shaky start for him from beyond the arc, but right now, he's at his last two, and the lead up to 9 for Riverton, 35-26. Baseline drive popped out as Miles now crossed court pass. And a blocking foul called here on the floor on Jake McCleary. Miles ends up with the ball over to Stanford now. Stanford looking to drive. Hands off. That little floater shot. Good for Bridger Stredbeck. He's had a nice game today. How about Riverton giving Morgan a little of their own medicine, but couldn't finish the play as Jake McCleary had the lay-in. A little long on it. Stanford passes out to Murdoch for three, no good, and rebounded by Ahrens for the Silverwolves. Steps inside the arc, and Jeff Ahrens. Look out. This kid's starting to feel it. 37-28 now. Murdoch using the little delay by Saunders now gives it back out to him. Saunders, boy, he has got Anderson all up in his grill. Count that bucket as the foul was called and Saunders to the line to shoot one. First foul on Tanner Anderson as Ben Saunders at the line gets the friendly roll. 37-31 now, the Silverwolves advantage. Again, Morgan showing a little bit of that pressure. Up to Aarons, looking to drive, and that ball got stuck. And instead of foul on the shot, Bridger Stredbeck going to call him with the block. To the line heads Aarons to shoot two. Aarons made his first free throw, second one good as well. Jeff Aarons has all 7 points for Riverton in the first minute and a half of this third quarter. In the corner now to Stanford. Ball finds its way to Miles up top, and he has been held largely in check today thus far. Now he's going to shoot the three. That one a little long, rims off, rebounded by Jones, then tipped away and corralled by Murdoch, who gives it off to Stanford with the little shimmy around. Couldn't get the finish, and then Stanford gets fouled. Second foul on Jaron Jones. This ball inbounded to Miles, finds its way over to Stanford. Thought about the shot, instead drives, working against Aarons. Kicks out, three-pointer for Garen Miles. That shot is good. Garen Miles with a triple. 39-34 now in favor of Riverton. Able to break it. Sly gonna attack the hoop. And attack it he does as he lays it up and in. I mentioned quiet nights. Brandon Sly has had one of those, hampered in the second quarter with fouls. Miles coming around the screen that was set by Saunders. As Saunders rolled to the rim. Miles now with the drive. Going glass, no good. Rebound by Jeff Aarons. Has a man out in front. That's where he tries to go. Broken up, though saved to Garen Miles. Miles around the back trying to get around Aarons. Does so over to Murdoch. Going glass. That shot hard. And rebound is to McCleary. As Riverton now going to push it back the other way. Up and down action is Sly. Gets fouled on the shot. And both free throws were made by Sly. As Morgan fans not happy with the call. It was ruled to be a foul on the shot. So Sly awarded the free throws, took advantage, 43-34. Now in the corner, Stanford being guarded by Sly, going to dribble out of it. Tries to go back, now step back. Saunders with it in the corner. Boy, nice find as, boy, those cuts away from the ball for Jordan Nelson. Will find the path through the hoop, and that has been a scheme that has worked very well for the Trojans in this ball game. Kicked outside to Aarons. Cross-court pass. Up top, Jones. Over to Aarons. Sly with the screen. Now finding Jones underneath. That shot is missed and rebounded by Jordan Nelson of the Trojans, who's going to try to go the distance. Kicks outside. Now it's Garfield with the penetration. Stanford up top, over to Saunders. And that pass had trouble written all over it. On the floor, kicked out, three-pointer on the way. Stanford couldn't make it. Then Jones gets fouled on the rebound. Hayden Murdoch on for Morgan, as Andrews and Henderson both come on for Riverton. Brandon Sly now with it. Laumanu also checked in. He rolls off of that screen. Has it at the free throw line now. Working against Saunders. Passes off to Andrews. Henderson over to Sly as Sly will back it back out. Andrews with it. Again, zone defense right now for the Trojans. Sly with it. Kicks out. Three-pointer on the way. Henderson. That one was short. Then tried to pass that out. Instead, out of bounds, as having a foot on the line was Hayden Murdoch. Stays here with the boys in white. 3 minutes remaining here in the third. It's a 7-point advantage as getting fouled. This foul is going to be called on Stanford, I believe, and Joey Andrews to the line for two. First free throw from Andrews was good. Second free throw up and good as well. Lead back up to 9 for Riverton here. Ball finds its way to Nelson. He's going to dribble it and picks up, being hounded by Aarons. There's a nice pass over the defense of, it wasn't Aarons, it was over the defense of Andrews. And able to lay it up and in were the Trojans. Again, that pressure that had a few turnovers for the Silverwolves as Sly attacks the hoop and is rewarded with a foul call. First foul on Saunders as Stredbeck and Miles both check in for Morgan. Sly made both free throws. 47-38. Miles trying to use the screen set by Stredbeck. Now Stredbeck, boy, really nice job that time of sealing off the interior, getting the loft and laying it in. Riverton dealing with this pressure much better here since the first quarter. As Aarons picks up his dribble, Laumano now with it in the corner. Quick ball movement there by Riverton, but Morgan able to recover defensively, and now the drive by Henderson, kicked out to Aarons. That three-pointer no good, as Hayden Murdoch able to bring in the board. Miles using the screen, gonna dial up the three. Garrett Miles with the triple. 47-43, and Morgan has been teetering between a 7 and 9 point deficit. Now it's only 4, but get that feel. They can get a stop here or there. Laumano with the drive. This looks like a jump ball, as it was Hayden Murdoch, as the officials will gather. Jump ball it is. Well, that's a great job by Hayden Murdoch, able to get a hand on the ball, not foul Laumano, and gain the jump ball. As this pass given right back. Aarons with it. Gonna pull up for three. Jeff Aarons. Tut, it looks like rain, as Jeff Aarons is bringing it from long range. 1 minute remaining here in the third, 50-43. Stredbeck to set the screen. Miles with the drive, working on Laumano. Kicks outside, three-pointer from Hayden Murdoch, who answers the call, and back to a 4-point deficit. Cross-court pass, near side with Aarons. Looking to drive. Really nice job not fouling, as coming over with help was Nelson. So Riverton now will pull it out. 30 seconds left. Sly content to just hold the ball, dribble it up near midcourt. Holding for likely the final possession of this third quarter. Also holding a 4-point lead. We're down to 10 seconds now. Sly going to be guarded by Hayden Garfield. Screen set by Laumano. And then a blocking call called here on Bridger Stredbeck as Sly tried to drive. He's still on the floor. Third foul on Stredbeck. 3.3 seconds left. Sly to inbound. In the corner. Aarons with the turnaround three. Oh, that one just rimmed out. Riverton, that one was halfway down, came out. 50-46. The Silverwolves clinging to the advantage as we head to the fourth. Riverton starts the fourth quarter with possession and a 4-point advantage as Sly looking to drive, kicks outside. That ball deflected. Will stay here with No, goes to the Trojans. I thought that was deflected. It wasn't. Murdoch brings the ball up the floor. He's looking to attack. Sly cut off the drive. Very nicely done. Back with Matt Murdoch now. Miles, that pass a little behind him, had to reach back and pull it in. Off balance shot was no good, and then out of bounds underneath by Morgan. It goes to Riverton. And an offensive foul. This is an easy call, as pushing off was Connor Henderson trying to create space. Connor Henderson with the control foul as he pushed off trying to create space. Gave the inbound back to the Trojans, still trailing by 4. This ball lofted underneath. Boy, that's a beautiful pass to Saunders, but he couldn't finish it, and another jump ball here. His possession will stay with Morgan. Boy, great opportunity there, missed by the Trojans. As now this is a drive by Murdoch, tries to do the little one-hander. Couldn't get it. Sly was out of bounds when he brought that ball in. Again, another possession for Morgan. Miles to inbound, does so underneath the Saunders, working against Laumano. Couldn't get the bucket to go, and that's out off of Saunders. Boy, 3 offensive possessions for the Trojans and no points on that string. And that could have been a foul called. Nothing. There's the Morgan bench. It was right in front of him, pleading for a whistle as Andrews, and then he gets called for a carry. Boy, an awkward couple minutes. Boy, a disjointed start to this fourth quarter. Both teams look like it's the start of the game rather than the start of the fourth. Now this is Hayden Garfield with it. Dribbles to the top of the key. Open in the corner, Saunders for 3. Got fouled on the closeout. Is trying to put pressure on the shot was Joey Andrews. Created the contact, and Ben Saunders to the line to shoot 3. Saunders has made his first 2 free throws. This is his 3rd. Good as well. Mass changes for the Silverwolves, whose lead is cut to 1. Trying to inbound is Jones, does so to Sly, and that ball kicked out. Right now, Morgan picking up the intensity. You can feel it as Aaron's trying to dribble it down the floor. Coming back, nice recovery by Matt Murdoch, able to tip that out. Riverton ball underneath. Boy, Jaron Jones able to set up. Really nice job of clearing space and letting the big man fill it. Jaron Jones continues his nice game. Top with Saunders. Gonna put this on the floor. And again, that's Saunders able to create space underneath and lay it in. 52-51 now. Sly able to just dribble around the pressure and then stepped right into Stredbeck. How about Stredbeck able to take that one and not pick up a foul? Going the other way is Ben Saunders. And we are, well, I thought it was tied up. It's not. It's a 1-point Trojan lead, 53-52. Is Jaron Jones going to try to give the lead back to Riverton? Can't do it. Rebounded by Hayden Garfield as Miles brings the ball up the floor. And how about the Trojans? This is just a tough team as Miles picked up his dribble. Now had to force a pass to Saunders. His possession will stay with Morgan. Miles going to throw this in the backcourt. Dangerous to do against Sly. Nice job by Matt Murdoch, able to screen him off. As Murdoch brings the ball up the floor, nearly turned over. This is just a 2 as Murdoch's foot was on the line. No good. Stredbeck tried to get the tip, and he was pushed from behind. And going to the line to shoot 2 will be Bridger Stredbeck. First free throw from Stredbeck was good. Second free throw, good as well. It's a 3-point lead for the Trojans as Jeff Aarons picked up his 3rd foul on the play. Ball thrown up to Sly. Numbers for Riverton. Sly looking to attack. Got through the defense. Count the bucket and the foul. And how about the senior Brandon Sly? He has to the line to try to tie it up. Sly made the free throw to knot things up at 55. Just over 5 minutes left here in the semifinal of the Riverton Holiday Tournament. As that ball turned over, Matt Murdoch got hung in the air. Morgan fans wanted a foul. No call or help from the officials. In the corner, Jeff Aarons trying to dial another one up. There it is. Boy, he has certainly felt it in this second half. He was key to building up that lead in the 3rd and gives them the lead here as we approach the midway point of the 4th. Up top with Saunders. Boy, all alone was Murdoch. Laumanu came out on him. Garen Miles, he's been held in check today, though he has had some nice shots as that ball's deflected out off of Aarons. I say held in check, though he's probably close to his average as Saunders with the baseline jumper draws Morgan back to within 1. Miles, coming off a 31-point performance, certainly not there today, but he has had some important points for the Trojans and key shots as Aaron's going to try from the other corner. That shot no good. Miles able to bring in the board. Murdoch with it. Using the screen from Stredbeck. Now looking to go inside. Sly had that defended nicely. Then the ball poked away. I think it may have been Aaron's. Loose. Jones able to tap it up ahead, but couldn't get it to roll far enough as Saunders able to pick it up, and then it will be ball out to Morgan. Garen Miles will get the inbound. Looks to bring the ball up the floor. And eventually he gets fouled by Sly, and Miles getting a little frustrated. There's a third foul on Sly as Miles made his first free throw. His second here is Hayden Garfield is checked back in for Morgan. 59-58 Trojans, and there's a sarcastic cheer on that foul call on Sly as Morgan fans have felt a little slighted here lately. Sly picks up his dribble. He gets it over to Anderson. Now he picked up his dribble, has to pass it off to Aarons. And now Riverton gonna take a little time off here with 3:25 left. Jones with the drive. And right now Morgan playing much better defensively than they did during some of the middle portions of this game. Screen set. The slide goes the other way, and then he gets fouled. Foul's going to be called on Miles as he wasn't happy with it. Laumanu checks in for Riverton, as does Stanford for the Trojans, as Sly made both free throws. And their Riverton fans thought Saunders got away with something. Miles on the drive, and boy, he got fouled up high as Aarons came over to try to block it, and Garen Miles to the line to shoot two, and officials will discuss. Third foul on Aarons as Garen Miles missed his first free throw. His second attempt is here. Good. Knotted up at 60 apiece as we are under 3 minutes left, and we've got a doozy of a finish here for you. What a way to cap off the holidays with this River Holiday Tournament. Sly being hounded by Miles. We get it over to Laumanu. Boy, Stanford came nearly, got the steal. Sly penetrates through the defense like a knife through butter. Brandon Sly able to lay that in. Boy, that pass, that's a dangerous one. It was thrown too far out in front of Murdoch, and then a cheapo foul here on Stredbeck. And in the penalty as Riverton will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. McCleary makes both free throws at the line, pushes the lead back up to 4 for Riverton as that was the fourth foul on Stredbeck. Bringing the ball up the floor. Murdoch, boy, now he's trapped. Passes out of it. Saunders able to track that down and gives it back to Garen Miles. Stredbeck with it. Laumanu out on him. Boy, cut to the hoop by Stanford. Morgan couldn't get the ball to him. Miles with it now. Up top. Stanford looking to drive. Has that one knocked away. Instead was fouled, and to the line to shoot will be Stanford shooting 2. Stanford makes both free throws. 64-62. The Silverwolves advantage is that was the fourth foul on Jeff Aarons. Meanwhile, Hayden Garfield is checked back in for the Trojans. Sly passes over to Aarons. Able to work around the Laumanu screen. Goes back to Laumanu. Going glass. That shot no good. Jones. No shot. Foul is on the floor, and believe this is going to be called on Morgan. It is. And Hayden Garfield to the line will go Jones. Stanford is checked back in as Jones made his first free throw. His second free throw. No good. Rebounded by Ben Saunders. The lead is 3. Murdoch brings the ball up. 1:15 remaining here in what's been a doozy of a game between the Trojans and Silverwolves. Murdoch with the drive. Count the bucket. Matt Murdoch to the line to shoot a free throw. Laumanu gets called for the foul. His second free throw. Good, and we are tied up thanks to Matt Murdoch with the old-fashioned and one. Brandon Sly holding it. 1 minute left. Tied up. Winner advances to the championship game. The loser will play the Kearns Cougars for third place. Should mention that championship is against the Timpview Thunderbirds. And right now, Riverton happy to play many feet away from the attack area, having a tie ball game as Miles all over. Nearly a 5-second call, but nothing there. Sly now holding it, being guarded by Garfields. We're down to 30 seconds now. And this is Henderson being guarded by Miles. Boy, getting close. He's About 4 seconds before he's eventually getting rid of it. Now out to Aarons. Again, Riverton just holding down to 15 seconds. Again, you got to love the hustle and grit of these Trojans. We're going to have a shot to win for the Silverwolves as the crowd gets on their feet. Brandon Sly going away from the Laumanu screen. Gives it off to Jones. Jones pulls up. No shot. A travel on Jaron Jones with 1.4 seconds left. It will be Morgan side out. Morgan's going to have a chance to win. Matt Murdoch will throw the inbounds with 1.4 seconds left on the clock. We're knotted up at 65, so the worst thing you can do here is turn it over. They throw it down to Stredbeck. Can't get the shot off. We're going to give you a bonus basketball as the semifinal between Riverton and Morgan heads to overtime. Ready to start overtime. Saunders and Jones to jump. Jones able to tip it, but does so right to Garen Miles, and the Trojans get the first possession of this extra 4 minutes. Miles looking to drive. It was defended nicely by McCleary. Now a three-pointer from Saunders. Ben Saunders! A man who knows clutch, the senior quarterback for the Trojans, dials up a tray. 68-65. Jeff Aarons trying to answer. No good. And able to pull it in with Stanford as Jones wisely backed off. Ball thrown up. Miles has Saunders in the corner, going for back-to-back. That one no good. And the rebound is brought in by Aarons, who's going to push it. Numbers going the other way. Coming from behind is Matt Murdoch, able to create the steal. Boy, fast-paced action here in the first minute of overtime is Miles. He's going to try the triple, and that one rimmed out. Boy, a good look for Garen Miles. Sly now the other way. Inside to Laumanu. That ball is blocked by Stredbeck. Jones to follow it up and gets the friendly roll. Should mention a number of players with 4 fouls in this game right now. Have to be careful. Is it 68-67? Jones with a nice hustle play. Stanford now going to look to drive. Kicks out to Miles. Being guarded by McCleary. Now looking to drive. Miles kicks outside, baseline jumper. That one no good as it was Bridger Stredbeck who had the open look near the back of the iron. Sly to Laumanu, has a man near side. That's where he goes to McCleary. Aarons has Jones. That entry pass broken up by Saunders. Anderson and Henderson both check in for Riverton as the ball is inbounded to Anderson. Gives it to Sly in the corner. Long baseline J, no good. Really nice job boxing out that time by Matt Murdoch as he allowed Stanford to come up and grab the rebound. Saunders up top now. Under 2 minutes left here in overtime. A three-pointer by Saunders. And a putback by Jones have been the only points. 68-67 for the Trojans. Up top to Stanford it goes as we approach a minute and a half. Stanford thought about driving, instead backed out as Aaron's coming up on him. Now Stanford's picked up his dribble. Boy, dangerous pass, able to get it to Stredbeck. Now back with Matt Murdoch, able to get it underneath the Stanford. And he goes glass. Riverton fans wanted to travel. It may have been one as there was contact underneath. It created a little bit of a delay. Stanford able to just throw it up and get the roll. 1 minute left, 70-67. Coming around the screen was Aarons. Kicks outside, now over to Sly for three. And that shot no good. Rebounded, put back, no good. It's foul on the shot for Riverton. And heading to the line is Tanner Anderson to shoot two. That was the 5th foul on Stredbeck. He is done. Bobby Clough, the 6'4 senior, has come in for him, number 15. First free throw was made by Anderson, but the second was not, as now we will have a timeout to the Trojans with a 2-point lead. 56 seconds left. 56 seconds left, 70-68. The Trojans out in front. They give this ball into Miles, and then a blocking call called on Sly. Miles made his first free throw. Second one good as well, and it is a 2-possession game. 72-68 advantage to the Trojans as Sly picked up his 4th foul. Over to Sly, looking to drive. Wisely do not foul for the Trojans, and a timeout taken as Sly pulls them within 2 with 44 seconds left. Morgan to inbound, holding a 2-point lead as they try to go inside, and a foul. Was there a foul called? Boy, Saunders was awfully close to that baseline. It is going to be a foul, and to the line goes Ben Saunders to shoot 2. First free throw from Saunders was good. Second one good as well. Back to a 4-point lead as Sly brings it up. Corner 3 from Ahrens. Jeff Ahrens with the triple. 74-73 as they inbound the ball, and then a foul called on Sly, and that will be 5 on Brandon Sly. Miles made his first free throw. Second attempt to make it a 3-point lead is good. Bring the ball up the floor quickly. Andrews being guarded by Miles. Picked up his dribble. 25 seconds left as Ahrens defended nicely coming around the screen. The drive put on. That shot no good. Ilaamanu there with the putback. Draws him back to within 1 as Miles being hounded, and he is fouled from behind. To the line to shoot 2. Again goes Garen Miles. 4th foul on Jaron Jones. Miles missed his first free throw. His second. Good. It's 77-75 as Ahrens trying to track down the ball. Does so, and a blocking call. Wow, unbelievable, as it looked like Hayden Garfield was there. He picks up the foul, and Ahrens to the line to shoot 2. Ahrens missed his first free throw. He has one more with 8 seconds left. It's a 77-75 Morgan lead. Goes to miss it, does so. Saunders with the board, fouled by Ilaamanu, and Ben Saunders will head to the line to shoot 2. Saunders made his first free throw. It's a 3-point lead with 6 seconds left. The second one is good. Ahrens racing the ball up the floor. 4 seconds left, fires the 3. No good, ball loose, rebounded by Miles. The Morgan Trojans have defeated the Riverton Silverwolves 79-75 in overtime, and they advance to the championship game against the Timpview Thunderbirds. Again, our final score here from the semifinal of the Riverton Holiday Tournament. The Morgan Trojans have upset the hosts Riverton Silverwolves 79-75, and what an intriguing game this was. Morgan came out and they really had a lot of defensive intensity in that first quarter. They forced a number of turnovers, led to a lot of points, and they held a lead 14-13 after the first. The second quarter, very different. Riverton dealt with that press much better. Shouldn't say a press, it was just kind of pressure, but they dealt with it much better. They limited the turnovers, and it led to a lot of points on the other end as they were able to get a big advantage. It was 32-26 heading into the halftime, but they had felt like they had seized a lot of the momentum in this game. Third quarter came out and still felt that way as it was Ahrens who had the first 7 points of the third quarter for the Silverwolves, but give a lot of credit to the Morgan Trojans. They would not go away as they hit some big shots, closed that gap down to 4 points as we went into the fourth quarter. And then heading into the fourth quarter, it was the Trojans again who kept making plays. Murdoch had a big 3-point play in that fourth quarter to tie things up, and then we had a missed opportunity by Riverton as they turned things over. Stredbeck couldn't get the shot off, and we went to overtime. And in overtime, the three-pointer early on by Saunders put Riverton behind the ball, and they couldn't quite come back as Morgan had to make free throws to ice this game away. They did it as Miles made free throws, Saunders made free throws, and then Ahrens, who had such a great second half, he had a number of big three-pointers for the Silverwolves. He had a missed opportunity at the line as he missed free throws, and he will surely be thinking about those. Never like to put too much pressure on a kid, but that was pivotal as Morgan able to hold on here for a 79-75 victory over the Riverton Silverwolves. With that loss, the Silverwolves will advance to the third place game where they will play the Kearns Cougars, and the Morgan Trojans, their impeccable run continues. Winners now of 5 straight games and 5 of their last 6 as they head to the championship game to square off against the 4A Timpview Thunderbirds in what should be a doozy here in the championship game of the Riverton Holiday Tournament. But that's going to do it for our coverage here today. The Morgan Trojans with a big upset of the 5A Riverton Silverwolves, 79-75 in overtime. We want to thank you for joining us here on this instant classic on High School Rewind. For Vince Francis, my name is Dane Stewart. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.